Hey everyone, welcome out to episode 124 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. It's me, it's Mark. Couple days late with the recording and editing and everything of this week's episode. Been busy with work, and also we rescued slash adopted a 7-week-old kitten named Luna. She is adorable. If you follow me on any of my social media platforms, you've already seen photos of her. She has been a handful. We basically had to kitten proof a lot of the areas of the apartment while she gets used to the environment, as well as our somewhat older cat. She's only like 4 or 5. Mew, who's been on videos and you've seen photos of before, and she's been on the podcast with me on my lap and on the desk, while she gets used to this new little one in the apartment. And it's been very watching both of them and kind of, seeing how everything's going. So been really busy on top of working and doing that. A lot going on for an episode. I have a follow-up to episode 123 with TwitchCon, which I will be getting into. A lot of manga. I've actually, for those of you who are watching behind me, some of the shelving stuff has changed because I've been getting more stuff out of my boxes and storage and actually starting to organize better to have everything on display. And it didn't require me to make another bookshelf. I've actually got better risers and a few other things, so I've been able to actually organize. So that's kind of been my free time, but I've been doing that at 11, 12 o'clock at night when I should be sleeping. So I got some games to talk about. Have not gone to my local comic book shop yet. I'm going to be going probably towards the end of this week. Because I know my pull list from last week, I was only going to get 2 or 3 comics. And I know there's a few more that are coming out this week that are on my list. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to drive all the way over there and everything just for 2 comics. They hold them for me anyways. It's my own subscription slash pull list. So I was like, I'll just go this week. Especially as we get the newest issue of Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin came out, and we're literally at the cusp of issue 100. And I have not talked about Power Ranger comics on this podcast in quite some time. And trust me, it's going to happen when issue 100 drops, because basically everyone's leaving that's been working on the comic, and we're getting a whole new fresh team starting with issue 101. And I'm like, okay, this could revitalize the comic book IP. Who knows? So I'm really looking forward to checking. Oh, I got the hiccups. I'm really looking forward to checking those out. But I did, however, those of you watching, you can see playing Digimon Survive still. Really enjoying it. It's not for everybody, but it is a really enjoyable game if you like visual novels and you like Digimon. Really dark story too, which is appealing. I have a lot of manga to go over, as well as a few more model kits I picked up. So I will be jumping right into that. Let me move the mic back a bit so I don't bump it with the manga. And first off, we're going to go over manga. Let me move my water out of the way. There's going to be a lot. For those of you who are fans of tokusatsu, I did get my most recent magazine in, which has Kamen Rider Geats on the cover. Very exciting. Went through the scans on that. I'm very hyped for that show to start in the beginning of September. But no real posters this time, like a Pokemon arcade checklist. But the little gimmick toy is a little... I thought it was like a flashlight. It's actually a mini projector, and I can get tape off of this shit. God damn. It comes with little old... Remember these old school things where you put it in and you put your eye up next to it and go like that? It's like that, but a projector, and it has one for Kamen Rider Revice, Avatar Sentai Dawn Brothers, Ultraman, and then actually the new Pokemon series that started in Japan. So I thought that was really cool, and it's a little projector, and you can just go project it up on the wall. I know it's a kids magazine, so the toys are always kind of. Last month they gave us an Avatar Sentai gear, which I don't actually collect anything from Super Sentai for this season anyway. So I was like, oh, I'll figure out something to do with that gear. I might just sell it or give it away or something. I'll ask my friends if they want it because I have friends who collect that stuff. But manga, we have a lot of manga to go over, and I'm not even saying a lot, and then it's 4 freaking volumes. No, there's a lot. And I'm gonna start off with the biggest one I got is I bought part one of the quintessential quintuplets box set. Love the artwork on it. And then I realized with the top, the logo's cut in half, so when you get set two, it'll spell the whole name of the show. I'm currently up to volume 4 from reading it, because I got this like a day or so after we I recorded 123. So yeah. And then I was talking about time. Andrew always suggests manga to me, and he was suggesting a few. So I checked out In the Land of Ladale. Ladal. He said this is actually good manga. He enjoyed it. So I picked up volume 1, and I was like, all right, like I'll check this out. It's from Yen Press. I don't think I have any manga from them, so it's definitely intriguing. And then I started chipping away at some other sets, some anime I've talked about, some manga I've talked about in the past. I picked up volumes 3, 4, and 5 of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. This is such a hilarious, like the anime was, the season 1 was hilarious. I really enjoyed volume 1 and 2, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep getting them. So I picked up volumes 3, 4, and 5, and I was like, yeah, these are good. I want these in the collection, and I'm gonna read them anyways. Once I'm done with those 7 volumes of quintessential quintuplets, I'm probably gonna jump into continuing those. Um, and then another one I picked up, Andrew recommended, was Time Stop Hero. So I picked up volume 3. I wasn't sure if the last episode was recorded when I picked up volume 1 and 2 or not, but I do have 3 volumes of it now. I read the first volume. I thought it was funny. I was like, you know what? This is actually pretty good. I actually really like this. So, and then I picked up Aura Ferretta from Commonplace to World's Strongest Zero, Volume 2. I noticed I got a lot of 7Cs in manga, and I was like, yeah, and a lot of KC comics too. Another one, which I talked about right after the wedding, it was a manga that I read on the plane. Andrew pointed it out because he came to my wedding, obviously, and we were, a couple days beforehand, we were going around just checking out some comic shops and anime stores, and he recommended Wota Koi Love is Hard for Otaku. So I read all of Volume 1 on the plane ride back to California, and I was like, you know what, I gotta find Volume 2. I like to buy my manga at stores. I don't like really, always buying everything online. Unless it's like Books A Million, I still order from them time to time. I've actually ordered some regular books from them. But most of the time I like to buy stuff in person. Except for the quintessential quintuplets manga set 1. That was on sale on Amazon, down from like $80 to like 40. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. 7 volumes of manga for $40. Yeah, that's a good deal. So I found this at Barnes and Noble, and I was like, you know what? I want to read volume 2. I haven't seen it anywhere else when I was looking around at stores that carry manga, so I was like, I need it. I cleared volume 1 really quick. Then uh, another anime and manga I don't talk about a lot is the ReZero, Starting Life in Another World. Only because I don't really talk about anime a lot on the podcast. This is supposed to be a culmination of a lot of things, not just one specific niche that I'm into. So with ReZero, I was like, all right, I have the first 2 um, volumes, which is like chapter 1, and then I have the first volume of chapter 2, and there's 5 in that one. And then chapter 3 has 10 volumes. So while I've been chipping away at those, I did watch the show, and then I found volume 1 of The Frozen Bond, which is a newer release, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a side arc OVA style one. I'm not gonna read it until I finish all the other ones, but it was on sale because they were running a manga deal, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. It's number 1, and I know this set, I know this IP. I do enjoy ReZero, so I was like, I'm going to read it regardless. I'm not buying it just to buy it. So yeah, that was that one. Then I should do a footnote really quick for everyone. So with my manga, this next set I'm gonna go over. There, I still have another because on the Tuesday, this whole week coming up, actually, there's a lot of manga that's releasing new stuff. And I pre-order a lot on Amazon if I can't go out in person, especially ones I know are gonna be hard to find, or I usually don't see them at the stores I go to. So I do have another set of like 5 or 6 volumes coming in this week, on top of everything so far. But if I can rewind time to like 2013, I was living in downtown San Diego, fresh from the East Coast, and I couldn't figure out public transit. It was really confusing to me at first. Um, there weren't apps like there are now. And I worked like 2 miles from work, and I was like, I want to be healthy. I walked to work every day, and I walked home from work every day. Sometimes it was like, depending on what if I stopped anywhere or like which way I went, it could be up to like 2.5, 3 miles to get home. And this was around the time the Crunchyroll manga app was still in like its infancy. Wasn't like you know, not a lot of like known IPs, a lot of like unknown stuff on there. One of the things I used to do is I used to read manga while I was walking, which is very safe, you know. And I was like, I worked like when I left my first like real like IT job due to outsourcing. I was like, okay, I need something for money for temporary. So I worked at a tourist shop, right down near the convention center, near where all the yacht, where all the like the cruise ships and stuff. And I worked at a hammock store, so I got to like, if it was slow, I got to sit in hammocks. What was I gonna do? Read manga, you know? So it was like hourly pay plus commission on top of it. So I was like, slow day, I'm still making money. Let me read some manga. And this manga, I used to read so much, and I never realized it got a physical release because I kind of forgot about it. Then it got an anime, and the anime adaptation was just trash. But the reason why I brought up ordering stuff online and this story is because there's not a lot of sequential volumes in this big bulk that I just bought, only because I had to order the ones that I'm missing in between ones online. But this, I picked up a lot of Yamada Kun and the Seven Witches. This is such a good manga. I've read this complete from start to finish as it was being released by chapters like weekly. Like I was in on this. Like I went to town on this. I thought it was so good. Uh but I got volumes 1, 2, and 3. Then I got volume 5, and then 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then volume 12. So I got these from different stores though. So volumes 1, 2, and 3 I actually found at Barnes and Noble. So I swooped those up. Then volume 5, 6, 7, basically 5 through 9 and 12, I got a book off because they had manga on sale, and I got them for like half the cover price. And then I have 4, 10, and 11 coming from Amazon, as well as some other ones as well. So yeah, I definitely have bought in quite a bit of manga. I mean, that's that's an understatement. Trying to see how many I actually got. Yeah, so about 24 volumes of manga this week. That's that's excessive. That's including the box set, which has 7, and 2 very fan servicey reversible posters, which I will not be putting up on the wall. Nope. I was like, I was like, oh man, I wonder what the posters are. And I was like, yeah, I can't put these on the wall. I'm gonna be judged. My wife, like, she likes Pixar. She'll like old school animated stuff and like Studio Ghibli and stuff like that. But when it comes to like anime, like, no, she's not. I think she watched some of Super Brawly the other day when I had it on, and like she watched it for like 10 minutes, and she's like, "Yeah, I can't." So I was like, "It's not for everyone." So I'm not gonna subject her to overly fan servicey, stuff on display. Oh, good coffee. But yeah, so that's it for the manga. Um, it's not in frame. I'm still working on my manga display shelf. When that's done, that's going to be a separate video on the YouTube channel for those of you who are listening, or for those of you who are watching. It's going to be on the channel. I'm really excited to go over my manga collection because I never get to do videos like that. Like some of my older videos on the channel, like if you go back to like 2019, like around the time I started the podcast, I wasn't really taking YouTube seriously. I would do like a quick video of the comics that I talked about on the show, and that was it. I wasn't doing full video versions of the podcast. And like I would go over my comic stuff a lot of the collecting. I would love to do a video for my comic book collection, but I don't know how I would structure it because I have about 7,000 comic books. And there's a majority, like a little bit here, but a majority of them are on the East Coast because I wasn't going to move across the country with a whole bunch of long boxes. They're all safe and secure, but with my mom, but I wasn't going to, do that. Like that's a lot to travel with. Um, so I was trying to think like how can I do like because I have about nah easily like 12 or 13 short boxes full, and then I have two more short boxes right by my desk. One that's like half full, and the other one's empty. I think, or there's something in there. So I have a lot of short boxes, because they're easier to store in my closet. Because I can actually put like two short boxes side by side, long ways next to each other, and I could fit them like basically three high, two deep. So like I could do like each row is like six short boxes. So it makes it a lot easier. Actually, no, that means I have more than that. I have like 14 or 15 short boxes then. Damn, that's a lot. Um, But yeah, so I do want to like show off my manga display because it's so much easier to display and show off manga and like graphic novels, which is why I do a lot of trade waiting now, with my comic books. So that's where I am in that regards, and I am going to be showing off my manga collection at some point because I really think it's cool. I really enjoy it, and I do read a lot of manga. Like I said, I just don't really talk about it a lot on the podcast. Like I'll say, "Oh yeah, I picked up this," and that's it. I do want to start doing like more reviews and more video stuff revolving around manga because I think I enjoy manga. You get a lot of quality for the price. It's quantity and quality actually. So from a price point, manga you kind of get more bang for your buck compared to like comic books to an extent. So that's it for the manga. Um, so I didn't really buy a lot of stuff lately, because I don't honestly know, like, everything's been kind of so hectic. I don't actually know what I've gotten since like the last video. Like, I really don't because I don't get a lot of stuff. But then everything's kind of a blur because it's all online, and I know when I order stuff, I don't know when it gets here. But I did get this Figurized Standard for Kamen Rider O's, the Tajidoru combo, and I just actually finished building it. Um, about what, like 2 days ago. I actually built it the same day I bought it. I also bought the Commoner Zeo one, but I already built that. I built like that the day before that one. Like the day I bought them, I built Zeo. The next day I built O's because I was like, oh, I really feel like building a model kit. I like building model kits, kind of like relaxing. My kind of like my downtime. So that's kind of if I have a long work day, I want to decompress. I put on my headphones, put on an audiobook or a podcast, and I just build a model kit. And then I'm like, clear mind. Now I'm good. Because I didn't know, and I might have already talked about this. So I got my Commoner Garen DX belt. It was listed as used, uh, because the box was open, but everything inside was like basically factory sealed and like mint. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's another thing for the Kamen Rider Blade set, which for those of you who are watching on video right over here, you can kind of see my Blade Rouser. Um, so I'm getting pretty close to having like everything from Kamen Rider Blade, which is going to be like my crowning achievement, because Blade is Blade. Uh, that's one of my favorite series from Kamen Rider, one of my favorite Heisei era writers. Actually, it's just like in my top three in general. And I already hinted at it for video games. I've been playing Digimon Survive. Giga Bash finally came out on Steam and other consoles. I am really excited for that. I picked that up and I played through 2 or 3 of the campaign chapters because I'm trying to unlock a few of the kaijus. I will be doing some video content about that game because it's so entertaining and I'm really enjoying it. I have to find more time to play it because, yeah, I just don't have time. I haven't really been playing Pokemon Unite either. There's been some issues with the matchmaking and the game itself lately, so I haven't really been messing with it. I still log in every day and do collect my points and whatnot, but I haven't really done anything at all in that game for about a week and a half, which kind of sucks because I really enjoyed that game and I still do. Just I'm waiting to see if matchmaking and the master rank stuff kind of gets fixed. I'm tired of like it's just unbalanced right now and it's really annoying and I don't know how or when they're going to fix it, but they need to. So, no real topic of the week this week. This is, not really a drastically heavy podcast episode. I do want to do an update slash follow up for TwitchCon. I said in the episode before when I talked about it, watch if tickets are going on sale. If they aren't selling X amount of tickets, they're going to change their mind. And they did. So they went from no vaccine needed, no mask needed, anything at all, to you need a mask, you need vaccine proof. If you don't have vaccine, you need a negative COVID test proof and a mask. So I knew this was going to happen. Uh, just because, like I said, if they're going to sell their tickets, they're going to change their mind. But if they sold a lot of tickets without doing any sort of mask mandate or vaccine necessity, like they would have not done it. But obviously, that hurt their sales. It hurt, obviously, if some bigger, more popular partners were like, well, we're not going to go. Because let's face it, the bigger partners with a bigger following, people are going to buy tickets to go meet them. Which I guess I never understood that element of it. Someone who's worked TwitchCon twice. I worked with an indie game company showing off Happy Dungeons. And then I worked with Extra Life and Streamlabs in 2019. And I was doing the meet and greet booth for certain people. And just Austin and XQC and a few other people. And I was just like, seeing the line of people to meet them, I was like, holy crap. Like, I like didn't that's when it like clicked in my head that like being a content creator, being a streamer, that's like people flock to that. Like their fans will line up, their fans want to meet them, and it's just like, but it's not like I wouldn't say they're celebrities, but it's like the same, like they're getting the same treatment as if I went to a Comic Con and there was a line to meet freaking Kevin Eastman or you know, uh, Frank Miller, like or an actor who you see on a big screen, this and that, but like streamers are kind of more like grounded because they're in their homes or studios and just playing games or going live in front of a camera. It's not the same as an actor doing like a multi-million-dollar budget film, but these streamers get the same treatment as like those celebrities, and it was crazy to me to see that, and I was like, wow, like that's kind of awesome actually. And so I was like, yeah, no. But, those people, those big followings, if they don't want to go because of the mask, that's what people who will go to this convention just to meet them and meet their friends aren't going to want to go either. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to travel just to say hi to some friends. They're like, no, I want to go there and see all the cool stuff. And I want to meet this person who I've been watching and following online for like 2 years. Okay, that sounds kind of creepy and stalkery when I say it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, TwitchCon being, mask mandate, vaccine mandate doesn't affect me at all. I've already been really adamant. It's like, hey, I got my vaccine. Company paid me to get it done, so I did. Um, when the mask rules around, I was like, hey, it's a whatever. I've had family members get very sick in this time frame. I've had family members pass in this time frame when there's a quarantine and stay home order that I couldn't, travel to go to a funeral for. So I'm in the mindset of, you know what, like it's not my place to throw a fit or honestly go against anything like that. Because I'm like, hey, if you want me to wear a mask to go to this convention, then fine, I will. You know, it's whatever. Because I'm only gonna go if companies want to hire me. If any companies want me to work their booth, want me to contribute, help out, this and that, I'll go. If that's not the case, I'm not going. Obviously, like that's the only thing. Like I'm gonna go if I'm working a booth. I don't feel like um just going and walking around. And that doesn't really appeal to me. I'm at the point where it's like, hey, I'm not saying I'm a businessman, but I'm here to work with brands, work with companies, network, and this and that. That's what I want to do because I'm not good at hanging out with people, if that makes sense. Like I get bored, but not bored of the people I'm around, just bored of like I don't feel productive just hanging out. Like I'll hang out with friends, like go get food, watch a movie, chill, this and that. That's different. But like I would never spend money to, especially how expensive TwitchCon is, to go to a convention to hang out. Like that's just me. That's just how I operate. But I'm the update. That's cool. If it means more people are gonna go and they're gonna make more money and it's gonna be successful and maybe it'll stay in San Diego permanently and it means that I get to work with some more companies again, I'm all for it because I really enjoyed doing that. It was fun. So yeah, I don't really have anything else, you guys. Like really, I feel kind of bad because like with everything going on, I don't have much to like talk about. And I was making this whole thing, but I'm not done doing my research because at the time of recording this, Batgate has been trending, and I did want to talk about the Rippaverse from Eric July because a lot of people have been emailing me asking me to talk about this. So I probably will. I don't think I'm gonna do it as a regular numbered podcast. I might do it as a special episode. So but like I said, I don't speak on things unless that I don't know anything about, like full about. I'm gonna do my research and my due diligence because that's how I am. That's still my like inner freelance journalist coming out is like I'm going to research this. I'm going to get factual points and this and that. I'm not gonna just be like, oh well, this is apparently what everyone's saying on the internet. No, I hate that so much. Like the word apparently will not come out of my mouth unless it's my opinion on something. I like, especially when it comes to those two topics, because so like there's been a lot of negativity revolving. There's been actually it's been polarizing. There's been negativity and positivity around the Rippaverse, which I'm not even going to tell you my opinion on right now because I want to fully flesh out everything before I even give you my opinion. And if I pre-ordered any of the copies or anything like that, I'm gonna wait. Um, yeah, and then the whole Batman Gate thing, like I dabbled in it late last night, like 1 in the morning, and I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. I need to watch more of this stuff to get kind of like the full painting finished in front of me. Like this I need to see the whole thing and really figure out what the hell's going on. Cause it's just it's ridiculous. But that's really it for episode 124 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the red subscribe button below. I do a lot of other videos. They're sometimes entertaining. I'm not sure. If you're listening to this, don't forget you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music or Podcast, whatever it's listed under. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Podbean, Pod Republic. I still use Good Pods, that app where you can follow other people and listen to shows. Look up a Nerd Named Mark podcast on there. You can even see me as the podcast host. I have my own you get your own separate one and your show. Feel free to follow me on there. I do some updates and you can see what I'm listening to for podcasts and what I draw inspiration from and what's, keeping me and my mind occupied while I'm building model kits. Because I listen to a lot of good podcasts. Not just my own. Actually, I don't listen to my own. I listen to it when I edit it, and then once I mix it down, I listen to it one more time, and then I'm like, all right, I'm done listening to my voice for a week. But yeah, if you haven't already, go subscribe to all on any podcast listening platform. You can find me on anchor.fm/ANNM podcast. The Nerdy Mark Reviews podcast is kind of like dead in the water right now because I haven't had time to review anything. I'm hoping I can soon, honestly, because that one actually was really popular when I was reviewing stuff on there, even though there's only like 12 episodes. But getting a lot of, like, people are still listening to it, and I was like, man, I should probably jump back on the RSS feed. But yeah. And if, yeah, that's really it. That's like, if you're watching, oh, by the way, if you're going on Apple Podcast, please leave me a review on there. For some odd reason, I just don't have any reviews on there. I think I have 2 now. Like, a couple got removed, and I don't know why, because they're positive reviews. So if you are listening on a Apple device, please head over to Apple Podcasts and just leave me a little review. That'd be great. Appreciate it. But that's it. This is it for episode 124 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. Sorry it's short, but you know what? You got 2 very long episodes coming up soon, and some interviews and some special guests. So don't worry. The lull is almost over. My name is Mark, and I'm a nerd.